Hello, I'm Matteo, the Chief Mobile Opinionist, here at Tech Travel Geeks. And this is the Tech Travel Geeks video where I'm going to set up my shiny new iPhone 13 Pro, the Apple smartphone released in the second half of 2021. So if you haven't already, you can see our unboxing video on the Tech Travel Geeks YouTube channel, and be sure to be subscribed if you want to see more iPhone 13 Pro coverage, as well as comparisons with other devices. Right, first things first, after we've taken the device out of its box, is to find the SIM tray. Now on the iPhone 13 Pro it's on the left hand side, with its usual SIM ejector tool that came in the packaging. I'm going to take out that SIM tray. Here we go. And pop my SIM card in. So, all successful so far. I'll just pop the SIM tray back in with the SIM facing the screen. And now long press the power button on the right hand side of the screen. Now I did give it a quick charge in between the unboxing video and this video, so we'll see how much charge it has. It should be enough to get us through the setup process. So we have a hello from our friends at Apple, and hello in lots of different languages. Great, what do I do now? Let's tap on the screen, see what happens. No? Oh, it's a screen saver. So I'm going to choose English and United Kingdom because that's where I am. Fantastic. Bring your current iPhone or iPad near this iPhone to set it up. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to set this up manually as a new device. Now, first things first, I'm going to have to connect to my Wi-Fi. In this case, it's my Futurama-friendly Planet Express. Okay then, so we've connected to Wi-Fi and now it's saying that it may take a few minutes to activate your iPhone. Great! So we're just going to sit here and look at that shiny screen and its slightly smaller notch compared to the iPhone 12 series. And there we go. Now we have our data and privacy agreement from Apple. This icon appears when Apple feature asks to use your personal information. You won't see this with every feature since Apple collects this information only when needed to enable features, secure our services and personalize your experience. Essentially give us appropriate ads. Great, there's not much I can do here. I can't turn down things. Now I'll need to set up Face ID here. So that's very simple and easy to set up Face ID on the iPhone 13 Pro. I'll just set up a passcode as well. So there we go. Now apps and datas. I don't want to restore from an iCloud backup. I don't want to restore from a Mac or PC. I don't want to transfer directly from an Android or an iPhone. And so I'm going to go with the last option. Now I need to enter my Apple ID. Now this is interesting, it's two-factor authentication, so an Apple ID verification code has been sent to your other devices running iOS 10 or Mac OS Sierra. So I'm lucky that I have my other iPhone here at hand. Let's approve that and put in our authentication code. Don't worry, if you're watching this video, you won't be able to use this code because it's a one-time token. So there we go. So that's the Apple ID entered. It may take a few minutes for that to happen, despite me being on a very fast internet connection. I'm currently on BT's fiber to the premises, which is a 900 megabit connection. So make this your new iPhone. Don't transfer apps and data. Settings. Let's have a look. So we'll have Siri on. Dark theme, screen time will be on, display zoom it'll be standard, and location service is on. I'm okay with that, that's a good, decent start. I don't really use Apple Pay because I use Google Pay, so I'm going to skip this later on. So this is where Apple, despite telling you how privacy conscious they are asking you for more data on your audio recordings to be able to improve their service. Privacy is a double-edged sword. For this type of technology to work well, you require data, and if you're championing yourself as a privacy advocate, you might not want to be collecting that. So iPhone analytics, don't share data, and we'll see what happens. Here we are. Welcome to iPhone. Swipe up to get started. So here we are with the iPhone 13 Pro in its default setup. Now I have a settings notification. Finish setting up your iPhone. No, I don't want to set up Apple Pay at the moment. Let's get on with installing my apps and personalizing this shiny new iPhone. So, Apple TV has a notification. Let's see what happens. What's new in Apple TV? Apple TV Originals. Okay. So, this year I'm not getting a free trial of Apple TV Plus because I've had it since the iPhone 11 at the beginning of 2020. But I'm not going to subscribe now. I'm going to skip that. To be honest, it's, I'm sure, a great service, but there aren't any shows that really interest me at the moment. Let's go into the App Store and see which other apps and services I want. Personalized ads. Turn that off. Allow App Store to use your approximate location while using the app so that we know I get relevant apps. So obviously, coming from Android and being a Google enthusiast, I'm going to go straight into here and search for Google. Now, Google do a great number of apps for iPhone. So let's start with Google Search, which is great. Google Chrome, which in actual fact is not Google Chrome. It's Safari with a Google Chrome skin on top. It just makes it easier to sync your bookmarks and history with other devices you have. Google Photos, definitely a service I use. Google Drive, another one. Gmail, I much prefer this to Apple's Mail app. Let's see what else. Google Maps, definitely one to have. Google Docs, Google Home. As you can see, I'm an enthusiastic user of Google products, not just in my personal life, but my job. The company I work for uses the Google Suite, which means stop bugging me about Apple Pay. Let's go back to the App Store. So Google Sheets, Google Assistant, YouTube, Google Earth, Google Slides, Google Meet, Google Tasks, Google Keep. Google Keep is the cross-platform note-taking app I use both on iOS, on my iPhone, and on my Android devices, and on my desktop, so great service. Google Chat, which is now quite a capable chat service, though there's a bit of uncertainty as of if this is going to be a long-living service. I'm not really interested in Google Classroom. I am interested in Google One because I subscribe to their service. Google News. Let's go with that. Gboard, the keyboard, is really very good. Google Fit for my synchronizing my fitness activities. Google Duo for video calls. Google Street View for maps. And first impressions of the haptic feedback, that's the first time I felt it. It feels quite good. It feels very responsive, and it's not a mushy haptic feedback. YouTube Music, my music service of choice. PhotoScan by Google Photos. This is the one that allows you to restore old physical photographs. Remember those? Google Analytics. Hangouts is now pretty much gone. I think we're there with Google services in terms of apps. Now next, my preferred podcast app. In this case, it is Pocket Casts. I don't use the Apple Podcasts app because this synchronizes across my Android and iOS devices as well as over the web. It's my favorite app for that. Now next, the other tech company I'm quite a promoter of, Amazon. So lots of great services, not just shopping. So the Amazon shopping app is a given. That's where I'm going to be purchasing some iPhone 13 Pro cases to put on this device and keep it safe. I do watch Amazon Prime Video. Amazon Music is actually a really good music service, and if you're a Prime subscriber, it's included. I'm not an Amazon seller. Amazon Photos. Now this is the killer app. Whoops. We triggered my personal assistant. Okay, so I was saying Amazon Photos is a really good service that allows me to back up my pictures for free, unlimited storage for pictures and video. And with the limited storage on the iPhone 13 Pro, that might be a very useful tool. So I'll set that up later. Not too interesting thing. Audible. This is a must. This is my preferred audiobook service. Really, I've been subscribing now for over 10 years. It's a great service and I would definitely recommend that. Full disclosure, Amazon and Audible are not yet sponsors of the Tech Travel Geeks YouTube channel, but when they are, I will make sure to make that clear. So there we go. I've got Amazon and all their services up. Oh yes, AliExpress, definitely want that app. For all the other phone cases that we'll be purchasing on AliExpress for the iPhone 13 Pro, and ensuring that we do reviews and give you some options for keeping shiny devices like the iPhone 13 Pro safe. And that camera bump is noticeably bigger than on the previous iPhone generation. And what I'll do is I'll just get, whilst these apps download and install, I'll just get my standard iPhone 12 out and just show you side by side how big the difference in the size of that camera module is. So in terms of the square, it is significantly bigger, but it's not only that. The sensors themselves, the camera module is much bigger. So a noticeable difference there. And in terms of size, this isn't exactly apples to apples, oranges to oranges. We're comparing two different devices. Orange iPhone, red iPhone 12. It's not a Pro model, but the modules are significantly different. In terms of size, they're pretty much the same, from a little bit more of thickness. If you'd like to see a full review or comparison between the iPhone 13 Pro and, in this case, the iPhone 12, let us know in the comments. Right then, so I've gone through all the basic setup. Next thing I'll do is need to get my network operators app installed. In this case, it is Sky Mobile, UK MVNO, who in this case operate on the O2 network. So great, that's been set up. And next thing we'll do is look at my home screen and see what I don't want. Now, I'm unlikely to use Apple TV, so I'm going to remove that app. Let's just delete it, save some space on the device. I am going to move Safari up onto the home screen, move text messages up onto the home screen, and what's this, Apple Music. So I'm going to delete that app. I won't be using it. I use YouTube Music. So great. One thing I have actually forgotten about is all the Facebook services. So let's see what Facebook has to offer me. So we have the Facebook app itself. Great way to keep up with everyone who's had babies and is too busy to actually speak to you being a parent, but who would likely want to share their pictures of their offspring. Messenger, Instagram, yes, a bit of TikTok. I'm down with the young ones. Who else do we have here? Twitter. How did I forget about Twitter? My favorite social media app. You may have actually reached this video thanks to a tweet that I sent out to the world from there. We have FaceTime already installed, Snapchat, Faces, Zoom, actually that might be useful. Microsoft Teams might be useful as well. And more importantly, my favorite messaging app, Telegram. Great, they've all come down. Also Reddit for reading all the angry people comments. Great, I think that's all the apps now. Now, what I need to do first is put Messenger, Telegram, Google Chat, what's next? Oh yeah, messages, into a folder, and we'll change this from social network. We'll rename this to messaging. Great. And I'll pop that down in the dock. Next thing I want to have in the dock, it's always something I have, is the camera, easy access for my right thumb. And I'll put the actual social networks in their own folder. So Instagram can go in here, Facebook, and I think that's it for now. So I'll pop that in the dock at the bottom. So this is the way I have my phone, whether it's Android or iOS. I have folders in the dock with, in this case, my messaging apps, my social networks, and the camera. So phone, messaging, social networks, and camera. That's my easy workflow. I'm then going to pop my Pocket Casts and audiobooks in here and call audio. I'm then going to go and find YouTube Music and put that in with Amazon Music. It recognized that. And I think we're ready to go now. So these will need to be dragged into the main screen. So I'll move audio into there as well. And more importantly, my email, and Google Photos. Whoa. Okay, so that's my iPhone pretty much set up now. This is the iPhone 13. We've gone through a bit of a lengthy setup. You see the apps that I've installed. Let's see what we have in the App Store in terms of benchmarks. I don't think these are worth anything. Some people think they're very important, especially in our YouTube comments, so let's see what benchmark we can run to give you an idea of how amazing the iPhone 13 Pro is. Geekbench ML, is that a good one? Antutu? What's the best benchmark app out there at the moment? Let's go with Geekbench. Oh, have to pay for that one. Who wants to spend money on the App Store? Anyway, maybe we'll do a separate video on that and I'll explain why benchmarks mean absolutely nothing in day-to-day use of a smartphone. But for now, I think we can wrap up this video. That's how I set up my iPhone with my new SIM card, my shiny blue iPhone. If you made it all the way through to this end of the video, thank you for watching that. And if you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks. We will be covering the iPhone 13 Pro in the coming days and weeks, and doing some comparisons with other devices in the same price category. We aren't sure of when the Pixel 6 Pro will be arriving, but definitely the Pixel 6 Pro versus the iPhone 13 Pro is one that we have planned for. So, as I said, please be subscribed to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube. Thank you for watching if you made it this far, and goodbye from me.